I know y'all like a Z car. I like a Z car. They're pretty neat cars. They've got some decent transmissions in the manual ones. I was thinking of doing a Z car transmission in the Plymouth with the K series when I was looking into adapters, but I just went full F series. Today we are painting the spoiler, back bumper, front bumper. Looks like it's a pretty nice kit. It's fitting really well. Real minor work it looks like to it. The only thing that doesn't fit real well is this spoiler. As we can see, big old gap there, gap over there, funky here. Shove my hand up in this gap here, all the way around. Today we're gonna be taking care of that. I got a lot of fiberglass work to do on this one. The wife's gonna get these bumpers right where they need to be. We'll get them set in primer. She's gonna get them sanded. We'll get them painted. We're gonna cruise through this car real quick, get it ready for this gentleman here. Appreciate you bringing it in, Elijah. We're gonna knock this thing out. We gotta fill this hole here, this little hole here. I think there's one on the front bumper we gotta take care of as well. This is a 2014 Nissan 350Z here. Real nice car. I'm digging it. But anyways, let's dive into this. Like I said, I'm not sure quite what I'm gonna do with this. I'm half tempted to cut along here in a sense out of it and re-fiberglass it in further in here. So if I cut off all of this back to in here somewhere, maybe back into here, then I can redo all my fiberglass and lay it to go with the trunk curvature up into the spoiler here. So then it'll be kind of into here, so it'll eliminate this whole run. I'll just have to smooth all that out on the spoiler. It'll have some overhang off the car at that point, but at least it won't be hanging down in a sense, excuse me there. It won't be down on this angle. This will at least be flat and it'll run with this contour kind of like so. That's my plan anyways. I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna end up doing with it. It's gonna be kind of tough to tell. You can actually kind of see where he drew some lines where he was gonna try to maybe do something himself on it there. But let's see what we can get done. Let's see what we can make of this thing. We got the spoiler all apart. This thing don't fit for nothing, so we got a lot of work to do. I've got it off here. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna take this Sawzall and I am going to cut all along there, cut all of this out, cut a good little ways down, cut all of that out. Once I get all that cut out, I will back tape and tape up all this deck lid and tape up all the car so I can start doing all my fiberglass work. I'll do that, all of it back on the car. I just had to take it off so I could get it cut without tearing up any of the car, yada yada. Anyways, I'm gonna dive into cutting this thing up and then we will get it back on the car and start our molding process. I was able to cut all this out. The reason I had to cut it all out was I want to create this angle right here. The only way to do that was to get rid of the one that was there and use this piece here and mold it back into the trunk. So I'm gonna have to grind this down a little bit more and I should be able to get that curve to go back. I'm gonna have to take this little triangle section out, kind of chop it back a little bit, and then I will just start relaying fiberglass. I'll scuff all this up really good, start molding this, and really just kind of start bringing it back to shape with fiberglass. I've got 2 different types there, and we're just gonna have to recreate this whole thing. I got it all cut. Like I said, I'll clean this up, clean this edge up here, and then for the top, what I'm going to do is make this spoiler actually bigger. So I'll tape off that a little bit more. And I'm gonna fiberglass out onto this and just kind of smooth it all so that the spoiler kind of comes like this, and then it's actually gonna come out something like so. And that way I'll be able to get rid of that big gap that we can see on both sides. It's gonna be really kind of funky how I gotta do it, but I think it'll work really well. If not, I'll go to a different plan, but that's the plan for now. I think it'll work. Let's go ahead and cut some more and start laying some fiberglass. What I'm gonna start doing now is start laying my fiberglass. I cut me up a bunch of strips. And I'm gonna do this one a little bit different. So if you guys kinda are looking at it going, what in the world? Just bear with me, it'll work. I'm gonna take these strips and just kinda build my outside skin, kinda how I want it, like so, all the way around. And then after I get that one done, I will remove the spoiler off of this thing, and I'll actually come in and put a piece on the back. So it'll actually go like that, and I'll put it on the inside, and it'll go to the piece here. So I'll have this piece, I'll have one on the inside of it, and then I'm going to build my back one. So it'll be onto this face here and here. So all 4 layers will come together to create one layer, and then it'll be very strong and work as it should. If we look here, it looks like they just kind of folded the whole bottom to create it the first time. I'm not gonna be able to do that, but I can recreate it just by bending it around and doing it that way. It'll have plenty of structure. This is the, this is the mat, and then I do have the cloth. The cloth is for extra strength. What I'll do is build all my inside one, and then I'll lay this whole thing in a sheet of cloth and then sand all my cloth down and go from there. The cloth is extra strong. The mat's strong also, but like I said, the cloth is just the extra durability. Enough talking, let's dive into fiberglassing. That's a real loose first fit of what it's going to look like. First, we have to get this rear section kind of molded to about like the last one was. If we look at it, we can actually see that the piece goes from this one and touches that back one almost all the way around there. And that is then now, so I can just keep kind of building off of that one, and I've got a backing. After the backing's built, now I can move forward with it, and I'm gonna start on the other side and do the exact same as this side. I was working like a madman to try to get all my little pieces on without taking this deck lid off. It just wasn't happening. I couldn't get my angles right to get things to stick, and it was just creating a headache. So now we are in the process of removing it off the car, and I think I can finish up the rest of it with it off. And if not, we'll end up pulling the deck lid. I've got 3/4 of it here. I've actually started to get all the shape back, so now I just got to build these corners, get rid of this bubble, and really start shaping it in. And then I'm gonna have to bring it up a little bit, and I'm gonna do that off of it, and then I'll cut it and shape it to it back on the car. So with that being said, let's go ahead and pull this thing off the rest of the way. Oof does. This thing's moved around a few times since y'all last seen it, but this time it does have a molded spoiler. Look at that. All the way around. Whew. It took way longer than I wanted. It was twice the project I thought it was going to be. But I did get it. It's knocked out. It's on there. It won't be falling off. That thing is definitely stout. I had to remold the whole thing. As you guys seen, it just didn't fit at all. So now it fits. It's molded to it. It's one whole piece. It's curved. Whew. Got this all taken care of here. It had these two big spots where the license plate went and it just didn't fit. And then we've got the front bumper here. We got to get it all cleaned up and taken care of. But that's what I'm gonna work on here. Yeah, let's go ahead and prime this stuff. What's going on, y'all? I'm back on this dang 370Z. I'm about ready to paint this thing. We're getting awfully close. Let's go see what we got. Pretty dry air. I like it. All right. This car has been quite the task, let me tell you. I've spent all week on it, getting it to where it's at. We had to do a lot of filling here. I had to rebuild this corner here. We molded this spoiler on. It is looking gravy. A lot of work here. I haven't recorded a lot of it. I've just been in the mood. There is nothing enjoyable about watching somebody fiberglass and sand and fiberglass and sand and lay Bondo and sand and fiberglass, and there's just nothing enjoyable at it. I can go on it all day. I was at it all week, so a week worth of me working on this thing would be annoying to watch. So I'm here to paint it now. I've got it about where I want it. I'm real happy with everything. I'm gonna come shoot a little sealer on this thing, shoot a little white base coat, and then see where we're at. It is a tri-stage paint. I do have the white made, and then I got the pearl on the bank, so I'll make that up, come shoot a card, see which one it is, match it to the rest of the car, and go from there. Hopefully I can get this real close. Pearls are a little tricky. I ain't scared. Let's dive into this thing. There it is, y'all. Pearl white. Knocked it out. Really hard to tell that it's a pearl, but it most definitely is. A nice pearl white. Knocked it out. Let these things dry. Then I'll single stage the bottom of them tomorrow. It is currently 12:31. Boom. So, not one of my latest nights. I had to knock this thing out. I was tired of looking at it. So, that's the scoop on this thing. I'll pull it out tomorrow, start putting it all back together. And like I said, I got to shoot the lower spot here. It'll be all of that down black, and then the center part of the grill and a couple inserts black on that. We will not be painting any more on the deck lid or spoiler, so they are definitely good to go. We just got to put the carbon fiber piece back in there, untape it, and that is done. The mold came out pretty dang good, I would say. Not too shabby for a molded spoiler there that did not fit. It was for a 350Z and this is a 70Z, so that was the difference on those two. That's all I got on this paint job. Let's put it back together. All right, I know I told y'all I wasn't gonna show you until it was together, but I couldn't wait. Look at this thing. Man, that came out pretty neat. I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't sure of it at first, but I like it. I still gotta get all the black on it, but I pulled this thing out in some sun. Oh, it's looking so good. I'm digging it. I hate whites. Whites are so hard to paint, you lose yourself in them. But I got my good old Lumen-Light, lets me see real well. I gotta clean this thing up, shoot the black, put it together. This car's going home. said, you weren't gonna see this until it was back together, but we had a little bit of change of plan. We had to shoot some black on this. So I taped them off, actually the wife did. Taped them up. We shot some black single stage on these lower sections here. Pretty happy with them. Picked up a few pieces of dirt, but overall, I think they'll look really good. We're gonna let these bake now, dry, get them on the car, get the grills, the inserts, all the good stuff in them, and we will see this thing completed. There she is, ladies and gents. Once side skirts come in, we'll knock those out. I'm overall real happy with this thing. I'm really digging the black on the lower section. Looks really good. There it is. That's the Z car experience. That's us molding a 350Z spoiler onto a 370Z car. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff, the ding ding, and we'll hit you guys on the next episode.